In this video, we're going to look at our Fujifilm Eterna 55 accessories, including our cage, baseplate, monitor mount system, a prototype XLR module, which gives you phantom power and 2 XLR inputs, power distribution, and more. This is our base kit, which includes the segmented top plate. On the camera right now, we have the main portion of the top plate with the original camera handle. If you don't have the camera handle installed, you can add this second piece to the left rear part of the camera top. The top plate also includes a dust cover, and this camera ships with its own port cover for the LCD screen, but in almost every picture you'll see that this has been removed, and that's because that door swings up and out, and it leaves a lot of potential to get ripped off, broken. You'll probably remove that, and our top plate has a replacement for it, and that just sits here to prevent dust and moisture from getting in vertically through that exposed connector. This also will cover the LCD connector, so you can install that, and then drop this back on top. The top plate features rows of 1/4-20 and 3/8 with airy locating pins. We also have M4x20 holes in many places, and the center is an Arca Swiss clamp for adding our quick release top handles and gimbal adapter plates. The base plate for the Eterna 55 is a little bit different than our previous base plates, and that is because the rods have to be held in front of the camera body in order to be the proper distance from the center of the lens. So on this base plate, we still have a quick release system for airy dovetails. So unlock this side thumb screw, push that silver button down, and that exposes an airy dovetail slot channel so you can attach it to any standard airy dovetail. To reinstall, drop down, counterbalance, and lock the thumb screw. The base plate features an airy rosette on the right side for adding a hand grip, or you can add a NATO rail accessory like we have here as an optional item. The bracket on the front of the base plate features a lens adapter support post system, so you can unlock this screw and adjust it forwards and backwards and up and down. One thing that's been popular with our previous accessory sets has been switching from studio mode to gimbal using our gimbal adapter plates. And while this base plate doesn't have our traditional Arca dovetail interface, we hid 2 Arca dovetails underneath the airy one. So we'll unlock this, release our airy dovetail, and now you can see there is an Arca dovetail on the back and the front of our base plate. And that will receive our Ronin 2 adapter. The Movi one works just the same. Slide that in, lock the thumb screw, and now we'll remove the original Eterna handle. And we'll slide in our Ronin 2 top dovetail adapter. Now we're ready to go on to our gimbal. This is the MID kit, which includes all of the base kit items, plus we've added 2 15mm rods that are 6 inches long. We also have 2 cage arms here, which is an airy 3/8 to airy rosette, and a NATO rail on the side here with mounting points. You can position this in any direction. There's one on that side and one on the right side. On the top, we've added our rainbow handle, which adjusts in the Arca dovetail slot. We've also added our top rod bracket, which holds 15mm rods for focus motors and adding viewfinder mounts. The monitor mount that comes with the camera is very simple and good for keeping the monitor close to the camera body. But if you want to use this in a handheld configuration, you might consider the twist mount EVF system, which we've added to the front here. This attaches to 2 15mm rods over the front of the lens area here. And we've added spuds on the side and bottom of our LCD screen. And to install this, we'll just drop this into our friction knuckle here, lock that thumb screw, and you can still grab it and twist it and reposition as needed. This is a NATO rail, so you can slide this up and down as well. You can also position over the rods like this. And if you want to make it into sort of a hinge design, we can pop this off, flip this over onto our double-sided NATO rail on the inside. And now we have the monitor over our lens area. Another option is to use our speedball arm or our twist ball arm, which is rather new. This incorporates the same friction design that we have on our viewfinder system. So we have a spud attached to the back of our top plate here. We can just drop this on, lock our knob. Then we'll pull off our LCD screen, put this spud either on the side here or on the bottom, but for this we'll use it on the bottom. Lock our knob here, And this is variable friction, so you can set this friction how you want it, and then still grab your screen and twist it to show somebody what you're looking at. At the time we shot this video, this product was not available yet, but the right rear plate has 1/4, 20, and 3/8 mounting points with area locating pins and M4x20 holes, and it attaches in place of the cable guide that came with the camera. These are a few other items. A larger dovetail, which is great for adding heavy lenses you can balance more easily. We also have handle extensions, also great for larger setups. These just screw together with the 3/8 and area locating pins. We also have a vertical camera bracket, which can attach to the side of our top plate here. So this 3/8 and this 3/8, we'll just align our vertical bracket here with those two screws. Use a 4mm Allen wrench and tighten these down. The side plate has rows of 1/4, 20, and 3/8 as well as M4x20 holes. This also adjusts, so you can change the position, the distance from this side plate to the camera body by unlocking these two screws and sliding in and out. You can also remove this to access your LCD panel here. That's a lens support. We have lens supports if you need them. This is the DB13 power distribution module for the Eterna 55. This attaches directly to the back of the camera using the V-mount interface, and power is transferred without a cable. If you want RS capability on the 24-volt 3-pin fishers, you can add a lank cable here. To do that, we'll install this in the back of the DB13. Put the straight side into this port there. And we'll route the cable up and then back down. Tuck it into those cable guides there. Now we'll slide this onto the camera. And then we'll attach this to the remote port, which is this 2.5mm plug there. And then we'll tuck the cable in like that. It's available in a V-mount and a gold mount version, and these plates can be user swapped. They can also be adjusted to accommodate the size of battery you have. If you have a large battery, just slide this over to the left. This is a moderately sized battery, so we'll leave it where it is. You can see the light is glowing green for the active source, which is our onboard battery. If we add our block battery here to the 4-pin XLR input, you can see that that takes priority. And this is true down to about 12.5 volts. The onboard battery will then be switched over. The DB13 has 2 D-taps at battery voltage, a 5-volt USB at 3 amps, 2 3-pin fishers at 24 volts and 2.5 amps, and 2 2-pin LEMOs at battery voltage. The DB13 has a smart fuse which monitors the current that's going to the camera body and subtracts that from the battery's capability. This is a 12 amp capable battery, so we have our switch here set to 12 amps. Under normal circumstances, this camera uses about 2 amps, so the 10 remaining would be allotted to accessories. If you go over that, then we will cut off the accessories, leaving the camera on, which prevents you from corrupting your clip. So that brings us to audio. This camera has a stereo 3.5mm plug right here on the side of the camera, and you can use our AB3 and screw this into the side of the top plate for some scratch audio. That's a nice spot for it. There's also something that we're working on, which is the TASCAM adapter with a modification. What we've done is convert this into a direct connect to the camera body, giving you high quality balanced XLR inputs that convert to a digital signal that goes into the camera. This, if you want to use this right out of the box, would go on top of the Fuji handle somewhere in this position, which is pretty clunky for any situation really. So it's much better here. Just screw this in with the locating pins and area 3/8. Then we'll plug our handle connector into the body. Like that. Now we have 2 inputs here and full manual control here, as well as phantom power options. The XLR module will be available for pre-order by the end of October 2025, and the rest of these parts are available now at MID49.com.